man who cannot be broken has already been shattered into pieces and chosen, with deliberate hands, to reassemble himself stronger in the fractures. In the quiet aftermath of every catastrophe, personal, historical, existential, most collapse inward, seeking the shelter of bitterness or illusion. Yet there walks another figure, rarer and more unsettling, who stands amid the debris, not despite the ruin, but because of it. He does not rage against fate. He does not bargain with the gods. He simply refuses the final surrender. What is this refusal? Not stubbornness, not denial, something deeper, something forged in the hidden smithy of the soul where ordinary men dare not descend. What kind of philosophy allows a human being to become unbreakable, not immune to suffering, but sovereign within it? Most people never realize that fragility is not a flaw in character, but a consequence of how we are formed. From the moment consciousness awakens, we are taught to seek comfort as the ultimate horizon. Modern existence accelerates this seduction. Technology delivers distraction on demand. Institutions soften every edge. Culture reframes discomfort as trauma and endurance as toxicity. The psyche, shaped by evolutionary pressures that once demanded constant adaptation to scarcity and threat, now atrophies in engineered abundance. We become exquisitely sensitive to the slightest misalignment between expectation and reality. The ego constructs a brittle castle of identity, built from status, validation, and narrative, and trembles at the first true wind. The deeper tragedy is that this fragility masquerades as sophistication. We mistake emotional reactivity for authenticity, avoidance for wisdom, and perpetual comfort, seeking for self-care. The real battle begins here, not against the world, but against the illusion that the world owes us an unbroken life. The ancient philosophers understood this with merciless clarity. Marcus Aurelius inherited an empire already cracking at its seams, plagues sweeping the legions, barbarians pressing the frontiers, courtiers whispering poison. In the private pages of his asterisk meditations, he confronted the void without flinching. The universe, he reminded himself, is indifferent. External events are indifferent. Only our judgments render them crushing or bearable. He did not pray for easier circumstances. He trained his mind to meet whatever arrived with the same disciplined equanimity. Here was a man who could have demanded worship, yet chose the daily labor of self-mastery. His unbreakable quality emerged not from power, but from the voluntary surrender of illusion. What lay outside his reasoned will, death, betrayal, bodily decay, he released. What remained within, integrity, clarity, virtue, he guarded as the only kingdom worth defending. Epictetus, born into slavery and later crippled by a master's cruelty, took this insight into the extreme. It is not death or pain that is to be dreaded, he taught, but the fear of them. His philosophy was not abstract. It was lived in chains. He demonstrated that the citadel of the mind remains impregnable, even when the body is owned. The unbreakable man, in Epictetus's vision, distinguishes relentlessly between what is up to him and what is not. This distinction is no intellectual game. It is the difference between bondage and freedom. Musashi, the Ronin who survived dozens of mortal duels in an age of constant warfare, expressed the same truth through steel. In the Book of Five Rings, he wrote of strategy as emptiness, mushin, the mind like water, reflecting without distortion, adapting without resistance. He understood combat, whether with swords or with existence itself, as the art of becoming formless yet decisive. To be unbreakable is to have died to the fear of dying. Nietzsche gazed into the abyss of a world without divine order and emerged with a terrifying affirmation. "What does not kill me makes me stronger," was never a slogan of cheap resilience. It was the hard-won law of eternal recurrence, the demand that one must be willing to live this exact life, with all its agonies and repetitions, again and again. His own existence, migraines that blinded him, isolation that nearly drove him mad, the slow betrayal of his body, became the proving ground. Amor fati, love of fate, not passive acceptance, but active embrace. The unbreakable man does not merely endure suffering, he incorporates it into his becoming. He grows larger by it. Carl Jung descended deliberately into his own unconscious during his confrontation with the unconscious, mapping territories most flee. The shadow, he revealed, is not to be banished but integrated. The man who denies his darkness remains possessed by it. The one who faces it claims a wholeness the fragile can never know. Projection ends. The world stops being a screen for unclaimed fears. Seneca, facing Nero's order to take his own life, opened his veins with the calm of a man who had already outlived his fears. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality, he observed, exposing the anticipatory prison most inhabit. Machiavelli, navigating the treacherous politics of Renaissance Italy, stripped away comforting illusions about human nature. Men are not inherently good or rational. Power is precarious. Appearances rule. The prince who wishes to endure must master both force and cunning, yet understand that true stability rests on structures deeper than personality. Sun Tzu saw victory as the culmination of unseen preparation. The supreme strategist wins before the battle begins. Socrates drank hemlock without drama, having lived the examined life to its conclusion. Diogenes mocked civilized fragility from his barrel, lantern in hand, searching for one honest man. Viktor Frankl, stripped of everything in the concentration camps, discovered that the last human freedom is the choice of attitude. Meaning is not found. It is made. These figures were not exceptions to human nature, they were its highest expressions under pressure. They revealed that the unbreakable man is not superhuman but profoundly human, willing to meet existence without evasion. The psychological architecture of fragility runs deeper than circumstance. At its core lies the unexamined ego, that fragile construct built from stories we tell about ourselves to avoid the terror of groundlessness. Identity becomes armor, but armor that cracks reveals the void beneath. Fear is the hidden governor, not the sharp fear of immediate peril, but the chronic dread of meaninglessness, exposure, and annihilation. We project this fear outward, turning others into enemies or saviors, circumstances into verdicts. Desire compounds the prison, the endless wanting for security, status. Control turns the present into perpetual deferral. Loneliness is not the absence of people, but the absence of honest relation to oneself. The shadow festers, disowned aspects of the psyche return as fate. As Jung warned, validation becomes currency. The man who trades his sovereignty for approval has already begun to break power. In its truest form is not domination but self-possession. The person who seeks control over externals remains forever hostage to them. The one who masters the inner realm becomes difficult to threaten. Human nature contains both currents, the pull toward entropy, comfort, and self-deception, and the latent capacity for transcendence through confrontation. Modern society amplifies the former. It offers endless ways to outsource discomfort. The result is a quiet epidemic of brittle souls, highly reactive, easily shattered, sophisticated in language, yet primitive in endurance. The real danger is mistaking this cultural conditioning for truth. The person who becomes unbreakable does not follow a formula. Transformation is not acquisition, but subtraction. He begins by turning toward what others flee, not as performance, but as recognition that the soul is tempered only in resistance. He cultivates radical honesty, not the performative kind, but the quiet, merciless examination of his own motives, stories, and projections. Where others seek noise, he seeks presence. The present moment, stripped bare, becomes both mirror and forge. He learns to hold contradiction, to feel fear without being ruled by it, to experience desire without enslavement, to face loss without losing himself. Discipline is not self-punishment, but alignment with reality as it is. The Stoic practice of viewing events with detachment is not coldness, but freedom. Nietzschean affirmation is not optimism, but the courageous yes to the whole of existence. Jungian integration brings the shadow into consciousness, ending the civil war within. Habits of thinking shift gradually, almost imperceptibly. He asks not, "Why is this happening to me?" but "What is this revealing about the structure of things and my place within them?" Impermanence is no longer a threat, but the very ground of freedom. Attachment loosens. Action becomes more decisive, precisely because it is less desperate. Relationships deepen because neediness dissolves. Solitude becomes companionship with truth rather than exile. Failure ceases to be a verdict and becomes raw material. The man who has faced his own darkness no longer fears the darkness in the world. He moves through it with the calm of one who knows the terrain. History and psychology converge on this uncomfortable revelation. The unbreakable man is not the one who avoids the abyss. He is the one who has looked into it long enough for his eyes to adjust to the dark. Caesar crossed the Rubicon, having already accepted the consequences in his mind. Alexander pushed to the edges of the known world because his spirit demanded it. Yet even he wept when no more worlds remained, evidence that even conquerors confront limits. The philosophy transcends any single life because it addresses the eternal condition, mortality, uncertainty, the tension between chaos and order. The deeper current is love, not soft sentiment, but the fierce love of what is real. Love of fate, love of truth, love of the difficult path that forges something lasting. The unbreakable man does not conquer suffering, he transfigures it. Pain becomes teacher, loss becomes space. Darkness becomes the necessary ground from which light emerges with greater definition. This is not poetry for consolation. It is the hard geometry of the soul. Return to the shattered man standing amid ruins. The storm has not passed. It never fully does. Yet something fundamental has changed. The wind moves through him now, no longer meeting resistance, but revealing the spaces he has willingly emptied. The cold no longer penetrates as deeply because he has claimed winter as part of himself. This is the entire philosophy of the unbreakable man, to become like the ancient oak, gnarled, weathered, rooted, not despite the tempests, but because of them, standing not as defiance against nature, but as its highest expression. The greatest illusion is that we are ever truly broken beyond repair. The deeper truth is that every fracture contains the possibility of a more integrated form. Between illusion and truth lies the silent arena, where each person decides their nature. Most choose unconsciously and call it destiny. The unbreakable choose with open eyes and call it life. In that choice lives a freedom no external power can grant and no misfortune can revoke. It echoes across time, from the emperor's tent to the slave's cell to the quiet resolve stirring within you now. The plain is vast. The wind rises. The question remains not as judgment, but as eternal invitation. When everything familiar falls away, what will you choose to become? The answer is already forming in the hidden architecture of your own becoming.